News, WAOW. Here's what's happening right now.
Today was the first day of school for many students in north central Wisconsin. We have you covered with our back to school coverage. Plus news out of Wood County with an effort being made to better protect people during public events.
And we're tracking a line of thunderstorms pushing into the area tonight. We've got the latest updates coming up with our future track forecast.
We've got you covered. This is 9 News at 10.
It was a busy day for young kids all across north central Wisconsin as many school districts had their first day of classes today. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Cal Pazorski. Of course, one of the area's biggest districts, WAOW, also having those students return. The excitement was in the air at Franklin Elementary with kids eager to see their old friends, make new ones, meet their teachers, and see their new classrooms. But it wasn't just the students who were excited, but even the crossing guards were full of joy to see familiar faces return. One of those is Fred Kravantka, who says it's something he looks forward to each year.
It's the highlight of my day today, seeing all the kids smiling. I get to meet them and I learn their names and I watch them grow. So it's nice to see them grow. You have to double look and see if that's the same person they were last year because they really changed.
In total, there are more than 7,700 students in the WAOW School District, ranging from preschool all the way through high school. And for any students who might already be looking ahead to next summer, the last day of school for the district is on June 5th. And with the start of the school year across Wisconsin, Governor Tony Evers sharing a video message today celebrating the start of the new school year. Evers, who used to be a science teacher and a school administrator, says he wants teachers and other school staff members to know the work they do is important.
Each of you plays an invaluable role in the lives of our kids, and frankly, in my book, all of you are heroes, not just to me, but to the kids and families you help support every day. So I'd like to start this school year off by saying something you certainly don't hear enough. Thank you.
And continuing our coverage, next week, students in Rhinelander will head back to class. And for those at James Williams Middle School, things will look a little bit different. Our news partner WXPR reports the front entrance will now include 2 sets of locking doors, new front offices, and an improved bus drop-off and pickup plan. In addition to the new security measures, a lot of classrooms in the middle school are also being renovated. The school is also getting a fab lab and tech spaces. It was originally meant to wrap up in April, but it's now looking more like February. It's all part of a $26 million renovation for the school district approved by voters back in 2024. At the high school, the science labs and tech ed classrooms are also being upgraded as part of the same capital referendum project. Well, 9 Storm Track meteorologist Jackson Garlock joins us now. Jackson, it actually was pretty a good day for students to go out there for their first day back, right?
Yeah, we had comfortable temperatures out there. That's all you can really ask for the first day of school. Moving forward, though, we're going to have much cooler weather. And we might see a couple of showers and thunderstorms outside tonight. In fact, the latest thing we've been tracking is a line of thunder shaping up in the northwestern corner of the state. As we zoom in, you can see that's just now breaking into parts of the 9 News area, but multiple flashes of lightning, some pockets of heavier rainfall on the way for tonight. As we zoom in, you can see that main line of thunder right now throughout parts of central and southern Ashland and Iron County. That'll slowly move into the rest of the 9 News area tonight, though should be losing some of its steam. Earlier today, we did have a severe thunderstorm warning briefly issued with this line of thunderstorms, so there might be some brief gusty winds, but I'm not expecting much for severe weather or strong storm development tonight. View outside here. This is our Ho-Chunk Gaming and Acoustic camera in Wisconsin Rapids. Temperatures still sitting in the 60s, pretty comfortable. That's about as warm, if not warmer, than what we're expecting tomorrow. Tonight we're looking at a low of 58 with some showers and storms. We'll be tracking those out coming up in our full forecast in just a bit.
Thank you, Jackson. Local leaders are working to make every day a little bit safer in our area, and that includes leaders in Wood County who are investing in a relatively new way to protect the public during events. Cooper Wild stopped by the county courthouse to learn more about this new safety system.
Safety is the name of the game here in Wood County, and due to vehicle attacks becoming much more prominent across the country, leaders here are shifting gears to new equipment that prioritizes security. Wooden and cement barriers are inefficient and city vehicles are too costly. That's why Wood County has chosen the modular vehicle barrier system as their new protection against vehicle attacks during community events.
But if you hit these barriers, your car goes up like this and it comes down on some spikes. So you can't just plow through it like you could a wooden barrier that are typically used.
The county purchased 2 of the 72 unit trailers, which can cover up to 20 lanes of traffic. The $358,000 price tag was completely covered by a grant gifted to them by the Legacy Foundation, who also strive to make the county a safer place.
Rapids is going to start using them at 4th of July. Pittsville for their Heart and Soul Road Race. Marshfield has a number of events, Dairy Fest and Hub City Days, that they're going to use them for. Any municipality in Wood County can use these.
County leaders say one of the main reasons they made this change was the Waukesha Christmas Parade in 2021, where a deadly vehicle attack claimed 6 lives. Waukesha has since then also used this system. Wood County wants to join the movement in preventing these attacks from ever happening again.
And we want everybody to feel at ease going to things, not having to worry. Vehicle attacks have been on the rise. They're easy. So just the peace of mind that we want people to have when they're attending outdoor events in our community is really the driving force behind this.
Wood County hopes to have this system shipped and ready for use by the end of the month. Leaders here hope that the new system will not only bring more security, but also more cost efficiency, with the overall goal of bringing peace during times of joy. In Wisconsin Rapids, I'm Cooper Wild.
The stock market back open on Wall Street today following the Labor Day holiday. The 3 major indices ended the day in the red, the dip coming as pressure continues to rise in the bond market. Late on Friday, the 10-year Treasury yield climbed to 4.27%, up from 4.23. And here are today's closing numbers. The Dow off 249. The Nasdaq fell nearly 176, while the S&P 500 was off more than 44. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano is putting on another fiery show. The volcano's 32nd eruption began early this morning. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the northernmost lava fountains began at around 6:30 a.m. local time, shooting more than 300 feet into the air. 2 other vents came alive later in the morning, with fountains reaching 50 feet high. Scientists say the activity is likely to last throughout tonight. Internationally, the leaders of China, India, and Russia are meeting this week, looking to send a clear message and challenge to President Trump over sanctions and tariffs. Indian Prime Minister Modi is locked in a battle with the U.S. over tariffs, pledging some partnership with China. Meanwhile, China's President Xi is having a swipe at the U.S., calling for opposition to Cold War mentality and bullying. The meetings came before a grand military parade that China is hosting, commemorating the end of its war against Japan. 26 world leaders are joining the Chinese president to watch that parade. And new at 10, President Trump says the U.S. military struck an alleged drug boat tied to a Venezuelan drug cartel. The president says 11 people were killed in the strike, which occurred in international waters. He shared this video you're seeing here on social media. The president today speaking about the strike during an unrelated event in the Oval Office.
There's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out.
The U.S. military has deployed thousands of military assets around the Caribbean and Latin America as part of a ramped-up effort to combat drug cartels. Looking around Wisconsin, supporters of the Line 5 relocation project met today in Madison, with leaders highlighting the benefits of the project. They say it aims to create 700 union construction jobs, make propane more affordable, and support Wisconsin's economy. The Department of Natural Resources granted permits for the relocation last November after some years of review.
After that extensive of a review, we know we can be sure this project can be done safely and without negative impact to the environment we all cherish so much.
Speakers from trade unions, the Farm Bureau, the Gas Association, and business owners advocated for the project, urging people to support it and the resulting creation of hundreds of jobs. On the other hand, Midwest environmental advocates opposed to the Line 5 are holding testimony in Madison beginning tomorrow. Legal proceedings began 3 weeks ago in Ashland. They say the pipeline is illegal and should be denied for multiple reasons. The list of some concerns include threatening the cleanliness of the Great Lakes, a violation of tribal rights because the line would be worsening the Bad River Band's water and because it would cut through the Ojibwe tribe's reservation land. They also cite Line 5's history of oil spills. Some more local news. One person was killed on Friday in a semi versus car crash in the town of Plainfield. The Waushara County Sheriff's Office releasing some information today. They say a car was headed eastbound on Archer Avenue, approaching 5th Ave when it ran a stop sign. The car was then struck by a semi, which flipped onto its side after the driver attempted to avoid the collision. The driver of the car is being identified as Christopher Burns and was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the semi was uninjured. In Marathon County, a change in fee structures may take effect next year, impacting both event planners and attendees if approved by the county board. The board directed the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department to increase the fees to help the county's overall budget. This change will cause a higher increase in fees than normal for the next 2 years.
So we were given the direction to go back and increase our fees. Instead of the 3% we've typically done, we were asked to increase them 7.5%.
The changes in fees will be presented to the county board as part of the budget process, and if approved, all fees will be adjusted for the 2026 year. Well, still to come here at 10, some food news. Kraft Heinz is splitting up and McDonald's is lowering their prices. Plus, September is Suicide Prevention Month, and we talk with an expert on what you need to know and watch out for and how you can help others.
And we're continuing to track thunderstorms moving through the Northwoods. We'll let you know if they're headed your way coming up in our Future Track forecast.
Back with some more local coverage. We are now in a new month, September, which is Suicide Prevention Month, a time to raise awareness and remind people that they are not alone. Throughout the month, a number of local organizations are hosting events, workshops, and walks, all to encourage open conversations around mental health. Those organizations are hoping to remove the stigma that often surrounds the topic. Experts say recognizing warning signs like withdrawal, mood changes, or talks of endings and hopelessness can make a difference in saving a life. The best thing you can do for someone if you're worried about is to really just talk to them.
The studies show that asking someone if they're thinking about suicide or thinking about ending their lives or hurting themselves, asking those questions doesn't increase the risk of suicide at all. It's actually not asking is more dangerous.
Of course, having a conversation is the first step to getting help. You can continue to support someone who is having suicidal thoughts by checking in with them daily and encouraging them to seek help and support from professionals. You can also call or text the 988 helpline to connect with trained counselors. The Wood County Sheriff's Office is looking for your help recovering 2 stolen flags. The flags were taken from the town of Rock Cemetery on US Highway 10. They look exactly like the ones that you're seeing in this video right here. In a Facebook post, the Sheriff's Office writes the flags are more than just fabric. They're a tribute to the men and women who gave their all for this country. If you know anything about this, you are of course asked to call the Wood County Sheriff's Department. The Powerball jackpot has now reached $1.3 billion, which if won would become the 5th largest prize in the game's history. Labor Day weekend produced 10 big winners across Wisconsin. On Saturday, 2 $50,000 tickets were sold in Baraboo and Green Bay. A $150,000 ticket was sold in Milwaukee. And yesterday, 6 $50,000 tickets were sold across Wisconsin, including one here in Wausau. Got some food news. Kraft Heinz is splitting up into 2 separate companies. The split is coming sometime next year. One company will focus on sauces, spreads, and shelf-stable meals, which will include Heinz, Philadelphia, and Kraft Mac and Cheese. The others will focus on grocery items such as Oscar Mayer and Lunchables. The new companies have not been named just yet. McDonald's is cutting prices on some of its most popular meals starting next week, Monday. The chain will offer 2 limited time deals nationwide, including a $5 sauce McMuffin with egg meal and an $8 Big Mac meal. The move comes after McDonald's reported a sharp drop in low-income customers. McDonald's CEO said Re-engaging that group is critical since they visit more frequently than higher income diners. The company says the bundles mark a savings of more than 15% compared to ordering items separately.
Now, your 9 Storm Track weather forecast.
And Jackson joins us now with a full look of our forecast. Again, like we were talking before, honestly, just kind of like a good day for kids to go back to school on their first day.
Yeah, pretty comfortable in the morning, not too bad for the afternoon. We're going to get into that period, though, where you really have to watch those morning temperatures, make sure the kiddos have that extra jacket early on. We'll talk about just how chilly it's going to get here in just a bit. Now, here's what we're tracking over the next few days. A chance of rain tonight and tomorrow. Already seeing some showers and thunderstorms forming up in the Northwoods. Much cooler weather ahead. Temperatures today in the mid-70s. Our high temperatures over the next couple of days looking to drop into the 60s. And we even have a couple of high temperatures in the 50s in the forecast. So really feeling like fall over the next couple of days. A noticeable drop from today. Another chance of rain on Thursday. That's going to be mainly for Thursday night. Now we take a look here at the clouds and radar view. You can see showers and thunderstorms pushing into the area as we head into the early overnight hours. Specifically for those up in the Northwoods, you can see a line of thunderstorm development right now throughout parts of Ashland and Iron County. Now this line is going to slowly sink down into central Wisconsin, but is likely to break apart a bit. So right now it's probably at its strongest for the nighttime hours, and you'll notice we're not looking at any severe weather at this time. Now earlier there was a severe thunderstorm warning that just barely moved into Ashland County. We're unlikely to see any more warnings for the rest of tonight. There still will be some pockets of heavier rainfall, some rumbles of thunder, maybe some gusty winds up to maybe 30 miles per hour or so, but not tracking those 60-mile-per-hour winds or hail that we sometimes see this time of year. Severe weather potential outside of the area. As we mentioned, no severe threat. Our bus stop forecast for the second day of school. We're looking at 58 early tomorrow morning, so you might want that jacket. Now, there is a chance of some light scattered showers in the morning, but a lot of us will actually remain dry. Throughout the afternoon, we're looking at a cool day, a bit breezy, the high of 63, sprinkle possible. So you probably won't need the rain jacket tomorrow, but you still might want some sort of jacket. Alongside temperatures in the 60s, we're looking at northwest winds of 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's going to make it feel like the 50s. Our temperature tracker moving forward definitely cools down towards Thursday and Friday. Friday, a high of just 56 degrees, returning to the 60s in the weekend and mid to upper 60s next week. Our morning temperatures even cooler, of course, 41 on Thursday, 56 early Friday. 40 waking up early Saturday, and early Sunday morning we're dropping down into the 30s. We'll likely see our first frost of the season for some of us in the Northwoods. Now we take a look here at the future track forecast. You can see a few showers lingering on for the next few hours as we head into early tomorrow morning. Still looking at that line, but it should break apart a bit from what we're seeing right now. A couple of showers possible throughout our Wednesday. Otherwise, we'll have mixed clouds and sunshine yet again. A couple of isolated sprinkles or spots of drizzle for our Wednesday afternoon. Now, as we move into Thursday, we'll see some sunshine for the morning, then some cloud cover in for Thursday afternoon and evening, and eventually another batch of rainfall on the way as we move into Thursday night. Could be heavy at times, so we're keeping an eye on that. Our extended future track shows a slim chance of rain out this weekend. Here's a look at our extended forecast. Breezy all the way through Friday. Temperatures taking a nosedive down into the 50s. The weekend should be nice and sunny, but once again cooler than normal.
Welcome into sports. I'm Carl Winter. For the third straight season, Wisconsin will start a backup quarterback after the starter suffered an injury. Head coach Luke Fickell said today he does not expect Billy Edwards to play Saturday against Middle Tennessee, which means we'll see sophomore Danny O'Neill. The San Diego State transfer says he's confident from his experience starting 11 games for the Aztecs last season and plays with a chip on his shoulder.
In my life and just being able to prove people wrong, that's just the type of guy I am. So, I've been told no, I've been told I don't have a strong enough arm, I'm not big enough, I'm not fast enough. So just being able to go out there and prove myself right more so than proving other people wrong is a big thing.
And one guy who showed a strong connection with O'Neill in game number 1 was Badgers tight end Grant Steck. Though the redshirt freshman had previously never caught a pass in college ball, he grabbed 2 Thursday, the first setting up a touchdown.
Just hearing the crowd go crazy, just the excitement I felt, and just knowing that I was the one that was like ready to set us up to score a touchdown was awesome. I don't think anybody's worried right now. I feel like Danny has proven himself. He's proven that he's capable to be a starting quarterback, especially for the University of Wisconsin. So I'm excited to see just him continue to grow. He's only scratching the surface. So I'm really excited to see how he plays, especially this Saturday.
And the Packers released their very unofficial depth chart for Sunday's Week 1 matchup with the Lions, but let's try to glean something from it anyways. 3 wide receivers listed as starters, including first-round pick Matthew Golden. And at left tackle, Matt LaFleur seeming to confirm what Rasheed Walker said yesterday, that Walker will start at that spot in Week 1. Now, Walker held off 2024 first-round pick Jordan Morgan to retain the position. Walker, of course, college teammates with the newest Packer, Micah Parsons. And after acquiring the pass rusher, Walker says on Twitter and in person that the Packers will win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. I think it upped our chances by a lot. You know, we got a solid pass rusher going across the whole line. I don't think no one's going to be able to, throw the ball like that on us. It's going to open up opportunities for our DBs and our offense. So, yeah, I feel like, Micah's going to have a good presence on the field. It's going to really be advantageous to us.
All right, and the Brewers' grueling 19 games in 18 days stretch is finally over, and the crew got an off day today after wrapping up that slate yesterday with a 9-10 record, a record that could have been 10-9 if it weren't for a certain missed call during the Brewers-Phillies series opener. That would be this JT Realmuto's so-called check swing, which later led to a Phillies rally and Pat Murphy getting ejected.
Umpires have a hard job. They have a hard job. What I don't like is when they're definitive that they got it right, and then I see what I see after the game, and you can see the barrel's out in front of his front leg. Tell me how the barrel can be in front of his front leg at any moment and it not be a swing. It was just a big moment, and I think he missed the call.
All right, Brewers still lead the Cubs by 5 games. That's all for sports. See you after the break.
Finally tonight, an elephant at the Milwaukee County Zoo needed a little help today. Ruth, who couldn't get up on her own for over an hour, got a boost from a front-end loader padded with some hay. Born in 1981, she's an old girl. Ruth came to Milwaukee back in 2006 from a Texas zoo. The area was briefly closed to the public, but reopened by the afternoon. Quite incredible to watch that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people coming back from Labor Day weekend can kind of sympathize with that video.
With their food comas.
Yeah, I need a forklift or something like that to pick us up and get us back on our feet. Extended forecast moving forward, breezy all the way through the end of the work week. Temperatures will be taking a nosedive down to the 60s tomorrow, 50s after that, so make sure you have your fall jackets.
All right, thank you, Jackson. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good night.